this is Michael Elliott with Comicrealm.com Entertainment, showing you the Xbox One update of Red Dead Redemption. It just became backwards compatible from the 360 as of Friday. And here we go. Here's my copy for the 360. I'm going to go ahead and open that up. And I'm going to go ahead and put that into the Xbox One. Then I'm going to let that update. We're going to skip the Cortana right now. So I put that directly into the drive, and it should automatically update from there. So I'm going to go back out into the menu set. And here we go. Update this for Xbox One. To play this game, you need to download a free update, 7.5 gigabytes of space. So here we go. Essentially, it is installing it onto the hard drive. And I'm going to go ahead and go into the queue here. And then you'll be able to see all of the updates right there. And if you don't see this on your Xbox, then what it is I do have the preview. I'm a Xbox One preview member, so I get some of the updates before the general public does. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go over to games. And you get to see some of my games here. Then we're going to scroll down to the R's. And once again, if you don't see this grid, it is for the previous members, and it will be rolling out to the regular members there once they get done with all the fixes. Alright, so it's not on here yet just because it is still installing. But as you can see, it is still installing with the queue there. And supposedly this weekend they are having some free DLC. So I'm going to check that out as soon as I install this. I'm going to see what DLC they may have given away for free, assuming that you haven't already purchased this for the 360. In order for you to get your game saves from your Xbox 360 to the Xbox One, what you'll have to do is you'll either have to move that over by a thumb drive or a hard drive, or what you can do is you can put it into the cloud, which is the easiest way to do that, and then you'll be able to direct the save from the cloud. Then that way, if you ever go to another machine somewhere else, you can go ahead and play your game, pick up where you left off there. Alright, and through the process of editing, we have went ahead and finished updating the game there, installing it onto the hard drive. And so now I'm going to go down to my games, and once again, if you see this menu set and it's not in yours, it's because I am on the preview program there. And so let's go ahead and go down to the R's, and there we go. We have Red Dead Redemption for the 360, backwards compatible for the Xbox One. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And now it's running the emulator for the 360 on the Xbox One. going to go ahead and press start and see what downloadable content there is. And it already has the installed ones because that's what I have currently from my 360. So I went ahead and took that from the marketplace that is tagged to my gamer tag there. And so I'm just going to see. Alright, so we have some free stuff that I do not have right now. So it looks like the Legends and Killers pack. Obviously I have some things already purchased, so it may already have some of those. So if you see that the Liars and Legends pack is already there, so a lot of these I already have because I've done the Undead Nightmare collection. So that would go ahead and take care of those. But it looks like those are free to people for a limited time there. So go ahead and grab those while you can, and then get to playing. So, alright. So I already have those. So I'm going to go ahead and exit out of that. I'm going to see if my previous save is there or if I have to start over again. So, Red Dead Redemption single player save file could not be found. What would you like to do? So I can either create a new game, which I'm not going to do, or I can go ahead and import from the cloud to the game saves to the cloud there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get out of that, and I'm going to go ahead and turn on the 360, and then I'm going to show you how to do that real quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get to my 360. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that on, and by turning that on I'm switching the inputs on my TV. I have 4, so this automatically switched, or you can manually switch, or if you have a TV that you have to switch out, then you can do so with that. But I'm actually in the actual 360 right now, and that's going to load up, turn on. Then I'm going to go to the menu for the Red Dead Redemption and then transfer my files, my save files, to the cloud, so that way we can access those on the Xbox One. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go into the settings. Then we're going to go into system. Then we're going to go into storage. But what I'm going to do before I do that is I'm going to go ahead and hook up my external hard drive. I'm going to plug that back up. It's been a while since I've actually been on the 360, so I'm going to plug that in, so then that way I believe that is where my save is before I get into this storage folder here. So I'm going to go ahead and see if it recognizes it now. So I'll go into storage. Alright, now it is loading up the storage devices there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here to my external hard drive. I'm going to access that, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into games and apps. Then I'm going to go all the way down to Red Dead Redemption. I'm going to select it, and then I'm going to save it to the cloud there. Alright, here we go, Red Dead Redemption. And so we have all of these here. So right now it is currently saved onto the hard drive, and you can see that I already have the Nightmare and the other thing that showed, the other ones that showed up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put these, I'm going to select one, and then I'm going to select move. And then I'm going to move that to the cloud. So you should have 2 gigabytes free in the cloud. So I'm going to do that, and then it's going to move that. And usually the saves for this game aren't too large, And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move all those into the cloud. Then that way I can figure out where I want to pick up on later. And so I'm going to go ahead and go to the, okay, so this is one of the newer ones there. I'm going to make sure that all of these are into the cloud. Then that way when I pick back up on the Xbox One, I can go ahead and figure out what I want to do with that. Figure out if I want to start again at a certain point or if I want to completely start over again. Alright, so now I've done all of my saves there. So I'm going to go ahead and leave these because all of these should be technically saved on Microsoft, knowing that I have those. So I can always go back there later and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and now turn off my Xbox 360. And I'm going to go switch back my HDMI to my Xbox One. And I'm going to go ahead and retry this. And it's not allowing me to do that yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go into another app just to, or go back into it. Nope. Alright, so I'm going to go, let's see here. I'm going to continue without saving. And then I'm going to go right back into that and then see if I can access one of my saves there. So once again, I would recommend doing the switch over before you update your Xbox One to this. Then that way you save yourself from having to do that. And they're wanting me to install Cortana, which I'm going to do at a later date. So I'm going to go ahead and they won't let me skip. There we go. Didn't push the right button. So once again, I recommend exporting your files to the cloud before you update your Red Dead for the Xbox One. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and go to game here. And I'm going to go ahead, there we go. Now we have the selected device, which is the cloud saved games. And we have, let's see here. We have none right now because it looks like it is off. So let me go ahead and exit out of this completely. I'm going to go into another game, so then that way that'll kick off and I can start fresh into the Red Dead there. This should reboot the game to a fresh start, so then that way hopefully it'll recognize the cloud save now. If you hear a baby crying in the background, I do have a almost 9-week-old child. My wife is currently watching her right now, so just so you know, somebody is upstairs there. Alright, so here we go. So now it's downloading the saved games for myself there. Feel free to add me if you like. And so I'm going to go ahead and hit start. And once again, I am on the Xbox One here. And now I'm going to go ahead and go into single player. And I'm going to select Red Dead Redemption, and then it's going to load up, and then I should be able to select my previous save file from the 360. And now if I want to play it on the Xbox One, and then for some reason somebody doesn't have an Xbox One, then I can always go back to the 360 and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and go down to the game here, and as you can see, when I go to load game, I can actually load my previous games, which have been from quite a while ago, but so there we go, there's the autosave and then the other ones there. So There we go. I think this one's a little bit further along, so I'm going to select that and hit yes, and then it's going to go ahead and load up my previous save file there. So here we go, and we have Red Dead running on the Xbox One, ported from the 360. And it's going to ask me about this Cortana again, so later on I'm going to install that so that way that doesn't screw things up. So there we go. And if you want to see more gameplay of me playing Red Dead later, I will be uploading a separate video file of the playthrough of the game itself. Not the whole game, but just part of it, so that way you can see the differences between the two there. So thank you again, and see you next time.